Alright, we're redoing the two art projects that I copied from last month and merging them into one little art piece. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? This video is sponsored by Squarespace. So I got these picture frames from a thrift market, $2, not too bad. And I'm just gonna take the back, so it's backless, sexy backless frames. Don't really like the color, so I'm gonna change it using that Rust-Oleum gold and then the hammered brown. If I mix them together, it gives this like nice patina, this like antique looking thing. It's kind of subtle, but I think it makes a huge difference. Cool. So now I just need a black background. Let that dry, and I glue the frame to the paper. Then for the flowers, I just have this container. I add in this dry silica stuff. Movie magic, it's all dry. It takes like a week or so, but then we dump it all out as gently as possible. And I laid it all out to see what we're working with. And I'm going to save that for the next time I want to use it. So with that all dry, we're just going to kind of put it in place, see how we like it. Cool. And now make the resin. Equal parts A and B mixed together, and then I'm going to add in a little bit of this black tint. And I'm going to actually add quite a bit because I want it very dark and opaque for the first layer, and then each layer is going to be a little less opaque, a little more see-through, a little more translucent, less black. So with that dry, I added another one, and then when I was still kind of wet, I ate a tamale, and I had a picture of the flowers, how I liked it. So now just recreate it without getting the black too much on it. So yeah, this is less dark, so has a little bit of black in it. And just gonna do a layer of that, and maybe a second layer, I don't know. Try to get the bubbles out. Oh, and then I have this other piece I'm working on as well, the other frame, just in case I mess up the first one. And also, like, while the one dried, I could work on the other. And I just did that over and over again. This one didn't let dry super well, but I don't think it's gonna mess it up. Well, I don't know. While it was still kind of tacky, I put those in place so I could bend them. Added another layer. This one even a little less black. See, I just use a very little bit of amount, so it's pretty transparent. And here I am talking to the camera, but the mic wasn't on.
Well, I guess I can do that over again.
With the mic turned on. I had to take a break and get more resin. It is wild how much resin this goes through. But before I get back, quick shout out. Thank you to today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is your one-stop shop for all things website. I don't know what you're doing, but I know you can benefit from having a website. The reason I did, or the reason I first did it, was I had a product that I was gonna sell. Squarespace made it so easy. I like had a website and my product up and running in a day, and was able to immediately start selling. One of the reasons it's so easy is it's all there. You have to like go search for like apps or any outside things to make your website look good or work how you want it or be customizable to a certain degree. It's all there. One of my favorite things is their email campaigns and how Squarespace sets that up. Put an email cache right on your website, information you want it to have, you want to collect, and just start immediately importing those people to like your email list. Then start building this relationship with the community. Squarespace makes it really easy to community build. You have a community, you have your tribe, let's give them like a space to exist. And that could be your website. Whether it's a blog, portfolio, product, shop, store, Squarespace has you covered. You can actually go to the link in my description, www.squarespace.com/smooth, and start creating your website today, no credit card needed. And then remember, when you do check out and purchase something, use coupon code SMOOTH to get 10% off your first purchase. Cool. All right. Let's finish up these resin pieces. So just more layers. I ended up using 3 gallons. Woof. So much that it was going over the frame, so I taped that down so it could go up over the frame without spilling over. Kinda making its own little frame. Use flame to get the bubbles out. Added more and more toes, all covered. Yeah, it's kind of fun. And if I were to do this again, I think I would use bigger bod cups and just do like this in 3 different layers. One really dark, one kind of opaque, and then one completely clear. By the time I get to this part up here, I'm just using clear. Oh, and then I scuffed it with sandpaper one, to kind of get it all even because some of the flowers are still poking up, but two, to get this little effect of it like being really dark, and then where I pour the resin, it's dark. Also thought it'd be cool to like just draw a little smiley face. I might go back and redo this and leave like that because it's kind of cool. It'd be a really cool effect. Maybe I'll play around where I'm only sandpapering like stenciled images into it, so it leaves a really transparent image.
What's up, Dad?
Anyways, took the tape off, FaceTime Nico, and cut off the back. It's backless again, sepsi. The sides are looking okay. And then for the concrete piece, I didn't want it all to be concrete, so I thought I could fill it in with this floral foam stuff. So I had to make sure that it's going to be a little bit smaller than the mold. And then on the back, glued it down so it's going to be flush. This way, like, when it's in the mold getting the concrete, there's just going to be a thin layer around the foam. I added some little holes, I guess, so the concrete would stick better. And paper on the inside, hopefully to make it like a really smooth finish. Used my fancy stirrer to stir up the concrete, added a little layer at the bottom. Put this in so it's just going to be perfectly surrounded. The painting was so heavy because the resin didn't stick very well. And then as I added the concrete, it started floating up. So I had to push it down and screw it into place from the back. Probably should have done the beginning. And then added the concrete, added the frame, and then added more concrete. Got a little messy. Then I'm like, that's kind of fun. Let's splash it. Ended up really liking it, so we're just gonna splash all the bottom, make it look kind of that. It just jumped into there. And once it was dry, time to unscrew and see how it did. The paper did exactly what I thought it was gonna do. It was gonna stick to it, but it also made the wood come off fairly easy. So honestly, kind of great, because here on the side you'll see it was not coming off. I ended up breaking the concrete. So it's the cracks right there. Oh, the picture frame came out and it was just a big old mess. It did not want to release. So that's what we got.
I'm going to get the paper all off. We gotta get that thing to stay in there. Any could fall right any second.
I really like how it looks. And I think it's such a fun little combo of those two artists' art style mixed together. And I don't know what to do with the little square one, so if you have ideas, add it in the comments. I am going to finish this one, and the result will be posted on Instagram and TikTok. So find me there.
Alright, so be sure to like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit that bell notification. And yeah.